Shoes starts now.
It's no secret that athletes sometimes cheat, but is sexting, texting, and Facebook making it a whole lot easier to catch straying pros in the act? Straight out to my fantastic expert panel, Melanie Bromley, West Coast editor of Us Weekly. Melanie, give us the latest Scooby-Doo on this one.
Well, it's really, really sad. She's obviously filed for divorce, and we were told earlier in the week that Tony was trying to get back together with Eva, but now I think they've both decided that absolutely there is no chance for this relationship. And it's sad because Eva was best friends with Erin, and Erin does deny it, but she was best friends with her. And also, you know, so she's kind of lost a friend as well as losing a husband.
Now, Shanae Hall, you're the former wife of an NFL player and the author of Why Do I Have to Think Like a Man? Very good question. Here's what I don't get. I've heard that there's kind of a sisterhood rule, and the sisterhood rule among the wives, spouses of sports stars is don't mess with somebody else on the team. Isn't that a rule?
Oh, yeah, that's a rule across everyone, though. You don't mess with somebody that you know. That's not smart.
Well,
but I think... I think, Jane, the problem here that I have is I don't think it's just simply texting or sexting. I actually put in a call to a couple NBA friends of mine today, and there's a lot more to this story than what we're talking about right here. So
I'll just say that. Can you give me a hint? Is it bigger than a bread box? Animal vegetable or mineral?
It's definitely bigger. It's both. I would say that she knows more than what we're talking about, that it's not a naive Eva Longoria, this sweet damsel in distress that's just all these text messages are coming out of the woodwork and now I'm filing for divorce. There's definitely more to this story, and it'll all come out sooner or later.
Well, you're tantalizing us. Tony Parker certainly isn't the first athlete to be taken down by text. You know who I'm talking about. It's been just about a year since Tiger Woods' ex-wife Elin discovered some rather racy text messages on Tiger's phone, which led to a Thanksgiving meltdown, chase, etc., crash. It prompted Tiger to leave this voicemail for one of his alleged mistresses. Remember this?
Hey, it's Tiger. I need you to do me a huge favor. Can you please take your name off your phone? My wife went through my phone and maybe calling you.
Dr. Jen Berman, psychotherapist, host of the Love Sex Show with Dr. Jen. Are we seeing in today's world more and more people being busted by their Blackberries, which, of course, if they leave down, a spouse can grab and go through and whoa.
Absolutely. Technology today provides opportunity and privacy, which makes it so much easier to have an affair. And then you throw in things like social networking, and it's easy to connect with people from your past. It's easy to connect with your teammates' spouses.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, here's the thing. We all know about athletes. We all know that athletes, well, let's be real, they have women throwing themselves at them. They are right up there with rock stars in terms of being... I don't want to say bait, but something, Melanie Bromley, that women have a tendency to go after. A sports star is a prize. So, in a way, can we blame them because they are subjected to so much more temptation than the average dude out there, Melanie?
Yes, I think we can. I mean, I think that, you know, I actually interviewed Jamie Grubbs, who's a lady that had the voicemail from Tiger Woods. And, you know, I think that the situation is that these sports stars, they become godlike in their world, and this kind of arrogance and believing they can get away with it. And there are rumours that there may be more women that Tony is linked to. I don't know if that's true, but also we know as well with Eva that she's had suspected things before. This wasn't the first time that she had suspected something. So I don't think she had just found the text and decided to end the marriage on that. There was a history here that kind of forced her to come to this decision.
Now, of course, Tony and Eva, if you want to come on our show and set the record straight, if you don't agree with anything being said, you are invited. We'll have you on any time. Shanae, very quickly, is that kind of what you were referring to when you hinted, yes, this is the tip of the iceberg and it's bigger than a bread box?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Eva knows more than what we're reporting right now. There have been things in the past that have come out, and things that I got, like I said, via text message today directly from people that play in the NBA. So it'll all come out sooner or later, and what they want to talk about is their personal business. But I don't want to minimize it and just say, oh, he's the big bad wolf and she didn't know anything.
No, we'll have more on this right on the other side. Eva and Tony.
I always say I work in LA, but I live in Texas because that's where my husband is. He has a very, very strict basketball schedule, and so with myself, probably 80% of my time is charity, and 20% is Desperate Housewives. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. That's my life's work.
Tonight, another celebrity couple headed for divorce. Eva Longoria splitting from her basketball star hubby Tony Parker after finding more than 100 scandalous text messages, allegedly, between him and another woman. Us Weekly reporting the other woman, not only a friend of Eva's and Tony's, but she's also married to his former Spurs teammate, Brent Barry. Shouldn't that be out of bounds? Tonight, that marriage apparently also on the rocks, and I understand, Melanie Bromley, that they have 2 young sons. This is quite messy indeed, Melanie.
It is messy, and what we know actually is that Eva called Erin and confronted her about the text she found. She actually found hundreds of texts that were sent over the course of 1 month. So there was a lot, and so she confronted Erin, and Erin denied it. But Erin and Brent are getting a divorce.
I have to say, Dr. Jen Berman, Eva Longoria is a beautiful woman. So we can separate this whole idea of cheating as anything to do with the attractiveness of the spouse that you're allegedly cheating on. And again, I don't know the story here, and I invite both parties on to tell their side if they want to, because there's always more than meets the eye. But I find it fascinating that when you hear about these women being cheated on in general, like Halle Berry, I mean, these are some of the most beautiful women on the planet.
And it just goes to show exactly your point, that it has nothing to do with the attractiveness of the person that you're with. It has to do with the quality of the relationship. And also, clearly with these kind of guys, the temptation that they face, it takes a very strong kind of guy to not give in to that temptation. And there are men out there who don't. But clearly there were cracks in this relationship, and it gave in.
Now, here's my big issue tonight. Smartphone, stupid behavior. Is this all about the phone? Or is it really about the opportunity? Athletes, as I mentioned, they're like rock stars. They have groupies. Do you remember Wilt Chamberlain, who bragged that he had sex with more than 10,000 women? He wrote about this in a book. Well, those were the old days. Now it's not anything to brag about. With women literally throwing themselves at these sports stars, I do wonder how the wives deal with it on a day in and day out basis. Shanae Hall, you were married to a famous athlete, an NFL star. What did you have to go through day in and day out? Was it driving you crazy to think, my husband just left the house, who knows who's going to throw himself at his feet?
You know, I didn't initially think like that, but I tell you, one time we went to Miami and he walked to the bathroom, and I happened to go to the bathroom too, but I was far enough behind him where this girl walked up to him and said, I'm going to have sex with you tonight. Not in those words, but it literally took my breath away. I said, is that how people approach you guys? You don't have to ask their name. You don't have to buy them a drink. So how do you say no to that if that's not morally part of your life? You really, truly have to be a morally, spiritually founded person in order to be able to withstand some of the temptations, because these are beautiful women. I'm talking about the Halle Berrys, the Kim Kardashians that are just like, of the world, not necessarily them per se, but of the world that are just throwing themselves at their feet and saying, I'll do whatever. You could bring my friend along. We can do it all. Oh, boy. And you have no obligation to me. And I've seen it with my own eyes. This is not hypothetical.
Shanae, I got to ask you, what did you do when you saw that? What did you do?
Well, it was funny because I just stood there and watched it transpire. I mean, what could I say? And he just
what
looked
did you
at her
do?
and
Did you go
walked
up and say, get off? You know what? I can't use the words here on TV.
Right.
Back off.
You know, I didn't say anything. I let it play out, and it was funny because she came back over to her area. She's like, oh, you guys are so cute. I didn't know you guys were together. And I'm looking at her like, wow, you just don't even know. So she got away with it because I'm not an insecure person. I knew he was coming home with me. We were married. And it really didn't move me. It just shocked me that women are that low self-esteem, low respect, having some other words I can't say on TV right now.
Well, I agree with you. I think it's not just about the man. It's about everybody in society and how we interrelate, and women have to really value themselves and not look at themselves as so worthless that just the idea of hooking up with a sports star is worth it at any cost. And again, we want to hear all sides. Thank you, fabulous panel.